for another card trick in the School of Magic. So, the door is open, step inside. So, a card trick. What I'd like you to do, I'd like you to try and select, I'm going to ask you to select 4 cards, okay? I would like you to try to choose the 4 aces. Okay, so I'm just going to pass the cards between my hands like this. You just touch any card that you think is an ace, all right? That one, okay. Any more? Need 3 more. That one, okay. Keep going. That one, okay. 1 more. That one, okay. So, 4 aces. I wonder how well you've done. Let's have a look. Oh. Oh, you even got the Joker. Not very well, I think. Let's see. I'll tell you what. I'll put them back in the pack, all right? And we'll have another go, all right? 1, 2, 3. Whoops, come on. 4. Okay, so put them back in the pack. All right. Okay, see them there? Somewhere in the middle. Yeah? All right, now watch. Watch. I'm going to push them into the pack, and when they come out the other side, look. They've changed into the 4 aces. You did it! Give yourself a round of applause. Okay, so let's see how that worked. It relies on 2 things. It relies on the 4 aces starting together and on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so when you start with the 4 aces on the bottom. And the other thing it relies on is physics. It relies on friction. Now, just because it relies on physics doesn't mean you don't have to practice it, but physics does a lot of the work for you. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to ask a member of the audience, a spectator, to just touch 4 cards that he or she thinks are the 4 aces. And you're going to spread the cards like this. And when she touches the back of a card, just put it on the table. So you say 1, touch another one, 2, put that one on the table, 3, and 4. Now, don't rush, because if you go too quickly, before she reaches the 4th card, you may have got to the bottom of the deck, which of course is where you've got the 4 aces, and you don't want her to choose the 4 aces. So if you do spread through the cards and you get near the bottom and she hasn't chosen all 4, just square the cards up and start again. But if you go through nice and slowly, he or she will pick cards before you get to the bottom. So do it nice and slowly like this. Okay, doesn't matter which 4 cards she picks, because you know he or she's picking the wrong cards anyway. Okay, but once you've got 4 cards on the table, say pick them up and have a look. And as he or she, the spectator, picks the cards up to have a look, and her friends will look as well, you just quietly cut the deck in half like that. Don't make a fuss of it. They're interested in these cards, not these cards. But what that does is it puts the aces together side by side somewhere near the middle of the pack. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So they have a look at the cards. Ask the spectator to put them on the table so we can all see. And oh, well look, she got 3 of a kind. She got 3 5s, which is a shame because you were looking for the 4 aces. Doesn't matter what you say. Just make some comment. I mean, 3 5s is pretty good if you were looking for 5s. Just make some pleasant conversation. But say, don't worry, I'll give you a second chance to find the aces. And now you spread the cards in front of you like this, okay? Until you can see the 4 aces spread out. Now, this is what the audience would see. I'm going to show you what I see. All right, I'm going to come round here. I spread the cards out until I can see the 4 aces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then appear to casually just put the cards back into the deck, but I put them in 4 very specific places. I put a card behind the bottom ace, okay, yeah, and a card in front of the bottom ace, there. And then I put a card behind the top ace and a card behind, sorry, a card in front of the top ace. So the top ace has got one of the spectators' cards behind it and one in front of it. And the bottom ace has got one of the spectators' cards in front of it and behind it. And I leave them sticking out of the pack like this. And then I close the pack up and just square it like that. Okay? I'll come back round the table now. So you can then say, look, there they are, the 4 cards you chose in the middle of the deck somewhere. Let's give you a second chance. And what you're going to do now is you're going to push these cards back into the deck. And when you do that, you hold these cards quite firmly. Keep them square, but hold them quite firmly, because you want friction to do the job for you. So hold the cards quite firmly, fingers on one side, thumb on the other, and then push these cards in. Now you can either use the same hand, and if you do that, you can hold the bottom of the deck here so that you hide the cards as they come out. That's not essential, but it adds a little bit of mystery to the trick, okay? But if you can't reach because your hands are too small, then you can always just push this the cards in with the finger of the other hand. But make sure you grip the cards quite firmly here and then just push and watch what happens at the other end of the deck. Look, some cards come out of the other end, and lo and behold, when you take them out, they are the 4 aces. And friction has done the job for you. And you can then spread these cards out and take your applause. The reason I've called this trick Take the Plunge is because 1, 2, 3, 4 is because this little secret of putting 2 cards either side of the bottom ace and 2 cards either side of the top ace and then pushing them into the deck, this is called the plunger principle, because as these cards plunge into the deck, they force out 4 cards at the other end. So that's the plunger principle, and that's why I've called it Taking the Plunge. There you go. Have fun. There. So that's another trick that relies on the laws of physics. In this case, friction. A little bit of friction pushes the cards out. Just because it relies on physics and almost works itself doesn't mean you don't have to practice. Because even the simplest tricks, you still need to practice them to make sure that when they go wrong just for you. Keep practicing until they go right every time, and then show them to an audience, because you'll know that the trick will go right in front of the audience as well. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. The other thing is, don't tell anyone how these tricks are done, because if people know how the tricks are done, it's no longer entertaining. The entertainment is in being mystified. So keep the secrets to your tricks to yourself, and you will find that you'll have fun, but also your audience will have fun as well. If they already know how a trick's done, nobody's going to want to watch it. So keep your secrets, keep practicing, and I will see you again tomorrow for another magic trick in the School of Magic. Bye. Who's the guy who's full of fun?